Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you might notice that this video is very lengthy. So let's make this clear. I don't expect you to watch it all in one sitting. If you feel as though you've had enough for the day, just write down where you're at on a piece of paper or whatever, and continue some other time. Or just open a new tab and do something else while listening. I won't blame you. So with that said, let's begin. Hello everyone and welcome to my very first Q&A. This is also my face reveal, so now you know how I look like. So without further ado, let's start with some questions. Now, I have the questions on my phone here. I'm gonna start with the ones from my earlier video and then I'll move on to my more recent video. So I'm gonna try to get through all the questions, so this video is probably gonna get very lengthy, but I'm doing this for you guys and I don't want to feel that anyone has been left out. So if I don't answer your question in this video, it's probably most likely because you asked it after I started recording. So yeah, without further ado, let's begin. And just quickly, if I mispronounce your name, I apologize. I'm just one man. I'm not perfect, so I'm probably gonna mispronounce a few names, but you know how it is. So let's go. Ruvski asks, what country are you from and how old are you? Well, I am from Sweden and I just turned 16 on the 11th of September. Horror fan asks, what's your least favorite creepypastas? And that's a good question. Now, there are a lot of, like hundreds of horrible creepypastas that I cannot think of at the moment. But if I would have to choose one that I really don't like, that a lot of people do, it's, surprise surprise, Jeff the Killer, because I've done so much videos on why I don't like Jeff the Killer, so just go check those out. I don't want to repeat myself. So yeah, Jeff the Killer. Stephen Major asks, what's your real name? My real name is Dennis. I don't know if you want to know my last name, but at the moment I don't feel very comfortable with giving out my last name. I might do it in the future, but just at the moment I don't feel like giving out my last name. But my real first name is Dennis. Wish Peltuing Death asks, oh, nice toothless profile picture by the way. Do you have any scary story that happened to you? Yeah, I once remember when I was with a couple of friends and we were at my mother's friend's father's house and we were playing by the woods because his house is, you know, in the more out on the country and on the countryside. So when we were playing, I kind of caught a glimpse of what I thought was, you know, a man standing in the woods. And don't worry, it wasn't Slender Man. It was just a man in the shadows, and I thought I spotted him, and I was like, I just saw a man, and then when I looked back, you know, he was gone, and everyone got really paranoid, and we were like shouting at the woods like, if someone's hiding out there, please come forward. But I don't know if I was imagining it because it was like late in the night, but that was pretty creepy. Ken Yuhiko asks, which is the scariest creepypasta that you've read and why? I think the scariest because there are some creepypastas that have really freaked me out. But if I would have to choose my most scariest one, it would have to be the Lavender Town Syndrome, because for whatever reason, whenever I think of that song when I'm about to go to sleep, I just turn very paranoid. I don't know what it is about the song, but it really like freaks me out, and that's including the Buried Alive and the White Hand and the Ghost Animation. For some reason, it really freaks me out. Maybe it has to do with Come Follow Me, because Come Follow Me, you know, really freaks me out too. Maybe it has something to do with that. But yeah, the Lavender Town Syndrome. And possibly the Harbinger Experiment too, because it is so incredibly well written and paced, and just everything about the Harbinger Experiment is just fantastic. So yeah. those two are pretty damn scary in my opinion. New Arm asks, oh, that is a badass Gygas picture, by the way. New Arm asks, what is your goal with your channel, or what do you plan to do with it once it grows? Well, the goal of my channel is that I just want to entertain people. I want to reach out to people across the world, and I want to entertain them, and I want them to look at me and say, hey, that's a cool guy, and you know, I like his content. So yeah, that's my goal. I want to entertain people, I want to help people, I want to make people feel happy. And that's one of the goals of my channel. And I don't really know what I'm gonna do with it once it grows. I just pretty much want it to stay just the way it is, and I don't want my personality to change just because my channel has grown. So yeah. My Gamer Ways with a Z asks, what made you interested in creepypastas? Well, I do remember once I watched a video of, I don't know if you've seen the picture, but I'm gonna show it right here. There was like a picture of this, and it was like slowly zooming in on Squidward's face, and there was like a really creepy song playing in the background, and it was called like, oh god, it was called like the scariest Squidward video you'll ever see. And I looked at the comments, and one comment was, wow, I thought this was gonna be Squidward's suicide, but I guess not. And I was like, Squidward's suicide? What's that? And so I looked it up, and I got fucking nightmares for weeks. Yeah. And then I started reading others like Suicide Mouse and Dead Bart. I think those were the first 3 creepypastas that I ever read. And I must say, I mean, at first I actually thought they were real, you know, of course. And they really freaked me out, and this was before creepypasta was mainstream, I guess you could say. So I was really freaked out by them, and that's what got me interested in it. And I think that was like 4 years ago, because I was 12 back then. Jesus Christ, time flies. Batfreeze asks, how old are you? 16. Real Mitcho asks, maybe it's a dumb question, but there are no dumb questions. Is there any creepypasta that you think is real? That is a good question. That's not a stupid question at all. No, I don't believe in any creepypastas. There are some that are very well written and make you, question whether or not they actually did happen. But for the majority, I don't believe in any creepypastas. Alexander Jovanovic asks, favorite horror games? One game that I really enjoyed when I played it was Amnesia, the first one, The Dark Descent. That game was intense, it was horrifying, it was dark, grim, just really gross, and just, it was such an experience, and it was one of the first experiences I had with a horror game, so I really, really like Amnesia. And another game that I sort of enjoy, but at the same time, like don't enjoy, is, of course, Slender the 8 Pages, because that game just blew up and became so big, and everyone was playing it, and for good reason. It was a pretty scary game, even though it relied mostly on jump scares, because Slenderman alone just popping up, and it was like poorly modeled, isn't enough. So the jump scare factor played a huge part in it, which is unfortunate. It shouldn't really rely on jump scares to scare the player, but that was a game that was pretty okay in my opinion. Deadpod asks, are you a fan of FPS games like Battlefield, COD, or Titanfall? I do like them. I remember back in the day I used to play a lot of Call of Duty with my friends, but nowadays I'm not really too fond of FPSs, but I do enjoy games that aren't solely FPSs, like Fallout, like the recent Fallout games and such. But I don't consider FPSs because I feel like most FPSs are sort of similar, and I know that sounds really weird, but most FPSs are sort of the same thing to me, you know, run around, you know, in the eyes of your character and shoot people. And I know that that's very much over generalizing, but I do like FPSs, and I have no problem with playing them. So yeah. Asserting Dust asks, what is your favorite video that you've made? That is a very hard question, because I really pour my heart and soul into every video that I make, and I really enjoy making these videos, and I try to make them as best as I can. And I don't really think I can, you know, decide which one's my favorite. If I would have to choose, it would probably be the first top list that I made, the top 13 scariest creepypastas, just because it blew up so much and has become so big in like recent months, and has gained me so much, you know, notoriety and new fans and new amazing people like you guys. So I would have to say that the top 13 scariest creepypastas is probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite video that I've made. Fiendfire asks, what made you want to be a YouTuber, and what's my favorite creepypasta? I wanted to become a YouTuber because I was watching video games, people playing video games, and I wanted to you know, record myself playing these video games. And the first video that I ever made was me recording my television with like a really shitty camera, playing the first level in Rayman 3. That was the first video I ever made, and I was so excited back then to make videos. And I am excited, you know, nowadays, but I was like so excited, like, oh my god, people are gonna see me play video games. So yeah, I just wanted to entertain people. Like I've stated before, I just wanted to entertain people, and that's what made me want to become a YouTuber. And my favorite creepypasta would have to be the Harbinger Experiment, and probably Squidward Suicide 2, because it brought me into the genre. Because both stories, I believe, are very well written. Some people, for some reason, believe that Squidward Suicide is poorly written, but I disagree with those people. I think that story is very well written, and I love it to death. And finally, on my earlier video, Georgie Boo asks, bacon or fried chicken? Jesus Christ, that is the best question I have ever heard in my entire life. And it is really hard to choose, but if I would have to choose, I would go with fried chicken, just because they're crispy, and I don't like when bacon is too greasy. So yeah, there you go. And now, it's time for the questions on my recent video, the top 10 most underrated creepypastas. So let's take it away! Alright, let's go. Ethan Keltner asks, how did you become part of the creepypasta fandom? Well, I read Squidward Suicide, just like I explained before, and I was really freaked out because I was 12 years old back then, but it really got me interested in creepypastas and horror in general. Abby Lentz asks, can I have a hug? Sure. What's your favorite movie? It would have to be Saving Private Ryan, Forrest Gump, and Schindler's List. What's your favorite color? That would have to be red. I don't really know why, but I just like the color red. Kid Carbine asks, can I eat your accent and the duck behind you? Here we go, here's my accent. And here's my duck. The Capcam asks, what is your accent/nationality? Well, I'm from Sweden, but my father is Finnish, so I guess you could say that I'm part Swedish, part Finnish. And I don't really know what my accent is. I don't know if it's Swedish or something else, but it seems like a lot of people have a hard time pinpointing my accent. But I am, like I said, Swedish. Greatness1990X asks, favorite thing about the Mother series? Oh Ness, how I love you! That is such a great question, because I love the Mother series so much, but I think my favorite part about it is that it's not afraid to showcase, heavy subjects like death, like, the subjects that they tackle in a more lighthearted way, except for Mother 3 that really, really, really doesn't handle death in a lighthearted way, I'm telling ya. Jesus fucking Christ, but I love those games so much, and I think my favorite part is that they take these heavy subjects and they, treat them with, a little quirk, a little, funny, business, and I just really enjoy that. Lit to KK asks, why is Jeff the Killer so overrated? Also, you're the... No. I do consider Jeff the Killer overrated because it is overrated. Oh, Jesus Christ, I do consider it overrated because I personally believe that it's poorly written, that it's not really that scary from a horror standpoint, in my opinion, and because of the story feels very contrived and very forced, and there's just a lot of reasons that I can't think of at the moment, but I just consider it to be very, very, very overrated. Kitty Bacon asks, what is your least favorite creepypasta? Like I said, there are literally hundreds of horrible, horrible, horrible creepypastas, but like I said, the one with the most notoriety that I can think of at the moment, Jeff the Killer. Daniel Susuk asks, do you know where Slovakia is, and do you understand this? Mamradmaki. No, I do not. The Dominator asks, what is your least favorite creepypasta, but it has to be one that people would know. Yeah, Jeff the Killer. Oh boy, Jackie Frederick asks, do you think you could do one about any mythical creepypasta characters? Think that would be cool. Really cool because of, let me think about it, give me a few minutes. Oh yeah, the mythical paranormal one like Spider-Man or Early, and then she's freaky. I just don't really like some photos are good, but maybe could do some, maybe like whip some more video game ones, and awesome, do you think you could just do one basically? I like this Squidward Suicide because I completely. Okay, I apologize, but I didn't really get that question. So if you could private message me, explaining what you meant by that, I would appreciate that, because that sounds like a interesting subject to talk about. So by all means, private message me and we can further discuss that. Steven Villegas asks, have you ever played Slender the 8... Wait. Steven Villegas asks, have you ever played Slender and the Right Pages? I think you mean Slender and the 8 Pages. That's probably a typo, I'm not gonna judge. And yes, I have played a lot of Slender the 8 Pages, and the best I think I've gotten is 6 out of 8, but I just can't bring myself to beat the game because I keep dying all the time. It's not because I'm scared, it's because I keep dying all the time, because that game, in my opinion, I know some people consider it to be easy once you know what to do, but I consider it to be pretty goddamn hard. Kieran Long asks, what creepypasta do you think is the most boring? I am very sorry, Kieran, I cannot think of anything at the moment, because most creepypastas that I've read aren't really what you would call boring, even though some might be bad in my opinion. I don't really find any that are, boring. There are those that are, bad, but that doesn't mean that they're boring, so I can't really come up with anyone that I find boring at the moment. Jalapeno Shark 43 asks, do you believe in the creepypastas that are in the true story section? I haven't seen the true story section yet, so if you could please leave a link in the comments, I would be very excited to see what that's all about, because it sounds pretty interesting. Luigi010 Gaming Likes Sandwiches asks, will you marry me? And the answer, Luigi, is yes. Yes, I would marry you. Cindy Maldonado asks, if you had to experience a creepypasta, which one would you choose? That is a really good question. But I really like Happy Appy because the main character. It's like an epic showdown in the end. Between the author and Forensic, and even though it is pretty goddamn scary that he gets stalked by Forensic and his minions. I do think it would be awesome, to hunt down these lost tapes, and then going like with a epic showdown between Forensic and the author. So Happy Appy would probably be one of those that I would like to experience. Edgar Valdiva asks, what made you do YouTube? Like I said, I wanted to entertain people and I wanted to reach people all over the world and make them happy. PJ Dabio asks, do you love me? Yes, I love you. Kim Forbes asks, how did you find out about creepypastas? Like I said, I was on that video, the scariest Squidward video you'll ever see, and I saw one of the comments said I thought this was gonna be Squidward suicide, so I checked it out, and that's how I first started reading creepypastas. Judgment Girlcraft asks, have you heard of Gregory Horror Show? And another question, do you know who I am? They call me Judgment Boy. You don't know it's not a real show? I've actually heard of the Gregory Horror Show from the mysterious Mr. Enter. I have been watching his videos, the animated atrocities and admirable animations, and I think in one of his videos he talked about the Gregory Horror Show, and it looked really interesting, so I am definitely gonna check that out pretty soon. On Sergeant Cookies, I apologize for leaving you uncredited. Here you go, you're in the video now. The Exploding Bacon asks, are you a leprechaun? Haha, but seriously, do you like bacon or Oreos best? By Oreos, do you mean the little cookies? Because I haven't tasted those, and if you're not, I don't really know what that is, so I'm gonna have to go with bacon. James Gonzalez asks, how old are you, and can you do the Ice Bucket Challenge? Please don't mean a lot to me, thanks for reading this. Like I said, I just turned 16, and I will do the Ice Bucket Challenge. Maggie Sanchez asks, are you going to do more insert creepypasta reel here? I really enjoy them. Also, can you say, trust me, I'm the doctor? No, I will not say that, and I will do more videos in the future. Just, I took a little break from them for a while, but I will do more in the future. Trust me, I'm the doctor. Toby Plug asks, what drove you to start this channel? Well, when I first made my first YouTube channel, just simply called Hodo Hodlum, I just wanted to record myself playing video games and entertaining people. And then I accidentally deleted it a few years ago. I think it was back in maybe 2010. I then started Hodo Hodlum's Revenge. And like I said, I just wanted to entertain people. And then I started making creepypasta videos and my channel blew up. And the rest is history. Austin Harden asks, what is your most embarrassing experience? I remember once, when I was 8 years old, I think, we were having gym practice, I think it's called, and I was in the locker room, and the door to the locker room, if you opened it, the place that we were exercising in was, right there. And I remember my friend who, back in the day, he used to be sort of a bully, to be honest. But believe me, he has grown so much, and nowadays he's a really nice guy. But back in the day, he used to be sort of a bully. But like I said, he's better now. He's much better now, much more mature, and he's a really cool dude. But back in the day, I was changing my clothes, and he decided it was a brilliant idea to open the door when I was in nothing but my underpants, and so everyone saw me in my underpants, which, when I was 8 years old, that was the worst thing ever. Oh, and quite recently, the most, like something really embarrassing happened. I was having a play, because I really love, acting. And I was in a play, and I had to take a piss at the area that we were playing, and so I went in, and I like locked the door. I thought I locked the door. Yeah, I think you can see where this is going. So I go in, I pull down my pants and I start pissing. This is too much personal information, but I start pissing, and out of nowhere, some dude opens the fucking door while I'm pissing, and I just turn my head because at first I heard, you know, the door, the knob turning, but I was like, it's locked, so you know it's normal. But then the door just went open, and I was like, oh god, no. And he didn't say anything. He just closed the door, and oh my god, that was awful. Zombie Insomnia asks, what are the plans for the future of this channel? The future is just, I want to make videos that I enjoy making. So if I make videos that I don't enjoy making, I will not make those videos. But I just want to make videos that entertain people and that I enjoy doing, and that everyone can, you know, be happy with. And also, I don't want to, you know, change if my because my channel is growing every day, and I really appreciate you guys for you know, sticking with me and being here for me. But I don't want my personality to change. I don't want me to change just because the channel becomes bigger. So, yeah. Soulcraft asks, hey Hood, when you first started YouTube, how many subscribers did you think you would get? And now you have 25,000. What are your thoughts? Well, I didn't think like an exact number. But let me tell you, I never believed that I would have this many subscribers. I think it's up at 27,000 at the moment. 27,000. What? Am I dreaming? Am I dreaming? Abby Lentz, again, asks, cats or dogs? Hard question, but I think I would have to go with dogs, because dogs are, you know, dogs are cute, I guess. Woof woof. Some random YouTube user asks, will you make a Let's Play video? Yes, I will, now that I've shown my face and I have my face out there for everyone. I've done my face reveal. I'm going to be doing more Let's Plays of, you know, games. Some horror games, some not. And I will also do face cam, so that's gonna be great. So look forward to that. Nessa Tufu, yeah, I'm sorry. Wanna buy some weed? Just kidding, maybe. No thank you. I don't do drugs. I appreciate the offer though, but I think I would have to decline. Wardog2033 asks, will you make a top 13 or top 10 overrated creepypastas, or maybe a top 13 or top 10 scariest Easter eggs in games? I will be making an overrated creepypastas list, so don't worry about that. And creepy Easter eggs in games? It's a good idea. Ash the Flash asks, what is your favorite creepypasta? Lavender Town Syndrome, Squidward Suicide, Harbinger Experiment. Q&A, what made you want to start making videos, entertain people, and make them feel happy? Cody Wet Loafer, I am so sorry, asks, what do you believe is the best horror movie? I don't know if it counts as a horror movie, but Solo or the 120 Days of Sodom? Don't look that movie up, because it is one of the most disturbing pieces of anything that I have ever seen. But for some reason, I really fucking love that movie, okay? I find it to be an artistic masterpiece, okay? And I don't know why, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm sick in the head, but I really, really love that movie. Aria KTB asks, can you also play some scary games in your channel? Yes, I will be doing that. Jay Santos, face reveal? Author Sims asks, when is your birthday? Or and if you had to choose any creepypasta to be in as the main character, which one would you choose? Well, my birthday is on the 11th of September. Yes, I know, 9/11, get over it. And I would have to be in Happy Happy, like I said before. Blue Pixel asks, what was the first creepypasta you've ever read and do you still like it? Squidward Suicide, and yes, I still love it. Omega Tahu asks, are you or were you at the time a fan of the Bionicle series? And if you are still a fan, you're in luck because Bionicle is coming back in 2015? Yes, I do think I enjoy those. Doug Percy asks, what about making a Life on Mars video? Interesting. Calculus Dog asks, I have 3 questions. When are you doing a face reveal? Right now. And haven't you subscribed to my channel yet? I didn't know your channel existed, I apologize. And most importantly, play Five Nights at Freddy's, please, it's so damn scary. I will, I've already bought it, it's on my computer, but I saved it for, you know, the special occasion that I'm going to record myself, play it with face cam and everything. I'm gonna go in completely blind. I don't know anything about the game and I have avoided all spoilers and everything. Like, I have told my friends to not tell me anything about the game because I want to go into it completely blind, so I'm gonna do that and it's gonna be great. Nick Sells asks, do you like animals? Greetings from the rainy Netherlands. Yes, I like animals, I like them quite a lot. Alexander Jovanovic again asks, top 10 scariest horror games. I don't really play a lot of horror games, so I'm gonna have to think about that. But, I don't know, maybe you could suggest some games in the comments? I don't know. Matthew Nagy asks, what's your opinion on dinosaurs? Dinosaurs are fucking cool. Matteo Valdez asks, have you ever considered doing more creepypastas? Creepypastas. Charlie the Killer was hilarious. I would love to do more. Flora N asks, if you had to, would you rather fight a beer-sized duck or several beers that are duck-sized? I would probably fight several beers because I could probably stomp him with my foot if I'm lucky. So yeah, that was an amazing question. Joe Pint asks, where is your accent from? If you don't have one, I am sorry, didn't mean to offend you. No problem at all, man. I have an accent and I don't know what it is, but I'm from Sweden, like I said before. Issy Karsuan asks, Team Kenny. Team Kenny. I mean, please sing, please sing. He said, son, have you seen the world? What would you say if I said that you could? Just carry this gun, you'll even get paid. I said that sounds pretty good. Like leather boots, spit shines so bright. They cut off my hair, but it looks alright. We marched and we sang, we all became friends as we learned how to fight. Yeah, I haven't warmed my voice up, I guess you could say, so maybe that wasn't the best, but yeah, I sang. Mr. Stallone asks, what is the best creepypasta you have read? Harbinger Experiment, Squidward Suicide, and Lavender Town Syndrome. Fred Kanya asks, what's your bank account number? I almost had me there, man. Oliver Tansley asks, could you do a creepypasta about your channel? Maybe. Brayden Cheatwood asks, what made you get into creepypastas? Like I said, watched that video, read Squidward's Suicide, fell in love. Nate Dale asks, can we get a house tour? Yeah, sure. As long as you don't like find the best ways to break into the house. Unless you do that, I'm fine with it. Adrian Campbell asks, hey man, can you maybe do more creepypasta readings? I don't usually like to do the reading myself, and it's more than because I'm too lazy to read myself, but sometimes creepypasta writers just absolutely need to add images that scare the heck out of me, making me turn away, leaving me unstable to read said stories with those images. Sorry that this is such a mouthful. I will do more creepypasta readings in the future, so don't you worry about that, my friend. Flix asks, do you have something in your house that always was terrifying to you that you couldn't stop thinking about? For example, a creepy teddy bear or portrait. Thanks for the video. No, not really. Nothing I can think of at the moment. But back in the day, we used to have like an African statue, and my sister found that one to be really scary, so my parents had to take that away. Jasmine Pagel asks, how did you get so awesome? I have no idea. I'm just a normal guy, and for whatever reason, people think I'm awesome. Justin Hill asks, why did you start making creepypasta countdowns? Also love them, keep it up. Well, I was heavily inspired by Tad's Top Videos because their videos were really interesting, and I thought, hey, maybe I could, try and make some of my own, and it worked out really well. Bomb of Destruction 198 asks, what is your guilty pleasure creepypasta? That would probably have to be Hope is Lost, because some people have, said that it's a pretty poorly written story, and I can agree to some extent, but for some reason I still really enjoy it. Maki Koroi asks, hi, sometimes I feel weird while watching creepypasta videos and while reading their stories. It feels like something is growing inside of... It's not fair though. Am I the only one, or do you get a special feeling? I don't really know, because I haven't experienced that feeling, but maybe it's like a feeling of, side effects that you get when being paranoid or scared. I don't really know, but I'm sure it's nothing dangerous, so don't worry about that. Monkey D. Luffy asks, what is your favorite urban legend? Not creepypasta. Because I don't consider Robert the Doll to be a creepypasta at all. I really like Robert the Doll, and I consider him to be an urban legend. I also really like Bloody Mary. Igor Kroki asks, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, asks, when were you born and why does the world exist? I was born in 1998! Thought I was gonna say 1999? Well, you're wrong! And why does the world exist? I have no idea whatsoever. It exists because it does. No explanation needed, I guess. Now I'm gonna say this name in a Swedish accent. Erik Samuelsson asks, Doctor Who? Doctor Who? Marissa Torres asks, how did you first get interested in creepypastas? Like I said, read Squidward's Suicide, fell in love. The Peanut and Pistachio Show asks, do you like Nintendo? Yes, I do. Chase Van Diver asks, what's your purpose for doing YouTube? Why did you start and when did you start? I started back in 2010 when I was 10 years old, and I started because I wanted to entertain people and make them happy, and right now I'm doing YouTube because I want to entertain people and make them happy. Jack Owen asks, what's your real name? Like I said, Dennis. Oscar Ferguson asks, what are your top 10 Doctor Who episodes? That is a whole other video in itself, so I will probably do that in the future, so stay tuned for that, my friend. Reality Gaming 09 asks, can you give us your opinion on Ben Drowned, please? It is scary, but I don't consider it to be the scariest creepypasta ever made. Anthony Padilla asks, will you read any creepypastas and then give your thoughts on them? I would love to hear you read The Crashers, the creature that stalks the cornfields. If you do, this one is really good, and if you're going to read it, it's your first time, not read first. Yes, I will be reading creepypastas. I did get an idea to start making, like blind readings, like I read them for the first time, without any editing, which is really interesting, so I would love to do stuff like that. So yeah. Five Productions asks, what cliches make you cringe the most? Hyper-realistic blood! Overpowered main characters, Jeff the Killer, plot contrivance. Sneak Assassins, whose real account is Quad Legends, asks, what is your honest opinion of Marina Mordegard Glasgorov? It is short, but damn, is it creepy. And it is really impressive how the author is able to get across such creepy things in such a short time span. So, Marina Mordegard Glasgorov is a fucking amazing story. Freeze Calls with a Z asks, where did you get the name for your channel? Well, my friend, I got it from my childhood game, Rayman 3. You see, the enemies in the game are called hoodlums, and there is one hoodlum in the game that is able to do sorcery, and it's called Hodo. So I got them together. It's called the Hodo Hoodlum, and I mixed them together, made Hodo Hoodlum, and I actually typed it wrong because I was only 10 when I wrote that. So it's actually supposed to be Hod O with two O's, but I wrote it with one O because I spelled it wrong because I was 10, and so I put them together. And then when I accidentally deleted the channel in 2010, my dad said like, hey, make another YouTube channel, but this time do it with a bang, come back, take your revenge. So you just call it like Hodo Hoodlum's Revenge, and so I did. Rose Marino asks, what was the first video game you've ever played? I think it would have to be, I don't remember because I played some educational games back in the day that I don't really remember, on my computer. But the first console game that I ever played was Tom and Jerry War of the Whiskers for the PlayStation 2, and the game that really solidified me as being a gamer was the second game for my PlayStation 2, I think, and that was Rayman 3 Hoodlum Havoc, because I had played the demo that you got in McDonald's Happy Meals, and I had played it so much, and so my parents got it for me on my birthday. I think I was 6 or 7, and oh my god, that game just completely made me love video games, and I cannot thank it enough for that. Emily Polovino asks, why don't you ever show your face? Are you happy now? Are you happy? Isabel Grubb asks, any tips for good creepypasta readings? I want to follow in your footsteps, but I don't know how. Help. I don't really know. I just try to be as natural as possible, and I don't know, I do things my own way, and I don't really know how else to put it. Gamer Artist 27 asks, how did you start liking creepypastas? Like I said, watch the video, Squidward Suicide, love. Monica Servin asks, what inspired you to create these videos about creepypasta? Do you like horror, good stories, or were you just drawn into making them by a mysterious force? I was inspired by Tad Stop videos and gothic horror or whatever. So yeah. Rebecca Wolf asks, have you ever wanted to write your own creepypasta? I did write one a little while ago, or I did write one about a Pokemon Red Ghost bootleg that got removed because it was pretty bad, because I was 12, 13 when I made that. I also made my experience with Jeff the Killer, which is has probably also been removed, because I wrote how when I met Jeff the Killer, what happened, and that one was probably pretty bad too. And that was back in the day when I actually enjoyed Jeff the Killer, but now that I'm older and I've developed more constructive thoughts, I find it to be the most overrated piece of shit ever. And I also wrote a creepypasta called An Experience with Fallout New Vegas, because Fallout New Vegas, or the Fallout games in general, are some of my favorites. And I wrote a creepypasta about Fallout New Vegas that I think also got removed, but it did gain some notoriety. Some people have actually read it, and I think one guy actually made a creepypasta reading about it, and someone had posted the entire story on another website. So, and I saved it on a Word document so it wouldn't get lost forever. And I have it saved on my computer, so I'm probably gonna leave a link in the description for it in the video. And I also have another idea for a creepypasta that I'm not gonna spoil, but someday I'm just gonna sit down, I'm gonna iron out everything, and I'm gonna make my own creepypasta as best as I can, which is gonna be a very exciting thing. And also, I love your profile picture, because I can't handle the pressure. God! Decap Cam asks, what is your number one creepypasta? I can't decide between these three: Harbinger Experiment, Squidward Suicide, and Lavender Town Syndrome. Julian Rovelo Connolly asks, how did you end up making videos of creepypastas, and what got you interested in creepypastas? Was inspired by Ted's Top videos, and read Squidward Suicide, love, whatever. Whacker Bigfoot asks, do you think some creepypastas are better than others? Yes, I do believe so, because of course there are gonna be bad creepypastas and there are gonna be good creepypastas, so yeah. The Pancakes with a Z asks, what anime have you watched or been watching, or do you watch anime at all? I've watched Death Note, Blue Exorcist, Aono Exorcist, it's called Aono Exorcist or Blue Exorcist, I don't know. And I have been reading some Dragon Ball, and it's right here, Hoshin Enji, yeah. Annan Crabtree asks, what is your favorite and best creepy gun? You all know this. Immortal Hetalia asks, do you like anime? If so, what are your favorites? Death Note is Death Note, Blue Exorcist, because those are the only ones I've seen, and also the Studio Ghibli films. I don't know if they count as anime or just feature films, but those films are amazing. Josh Poop asks, would you rather be a chicken or a dog? I would love to be a dog, I guess, because chickens, they are pretty raw, they have to fight for power, I don't know. And dogs are, cute, but they also have to fight for power. But I would like to be, a dog that's in a family, because I get to run around and woof woof all the time and, be all cute, so yeah. Seal Productions asks, why did you choose to review creepypastas of all things? Because creepypastas have been a fairly big part of my life for a few years, and some of them interest me and some don't, but I still like them. The Frostbite324 asks, do you ever think you can do a top 10 on the most overrated? Yes, I will do that in the future. Mark Claps asks, will you ever do another top creepypastas videos? When did I say I wouldn't be making any? Of course I will be making more. Nisaya Mauricio asks, do something funny. Would you like a jelly baby? Milton Lopez asks, what's your favorite horror game? Also, what is your favorite movie in general? My favorite horror game, Amnesia, Dark Descent, and my favorite movie in general, like I said, Saving Private Ryan, Forrest Gump, and Schindler's List. Oliver P., why do you not give us spoilers? Because I want you to read the story for yourself, to experience it in all its glory, and to freak you out more. Kieran121 asks, what is your choice of fast food? KFC, Burger King, others? and put a bit of charm music in these get me paranoid thoughts someone is going to pop up in my reflection, or just see the head of a woman pop up above my laptop screen, cry cry. I prefer I'm gonna have to go with Pizza Hut, but I don't know if that counts as fast food, so I would have to go with Burger King. Andrew Hutchinson asks, what is your favorite movie and TV show? Caliber Williams asks, how old are you? Just turned 16. Nightwolf asks, are you a brony? No. Not yet. Craig M asks, what creepypasta would you recommend for someone who's never read a creepypasta before? I think Squidward's Suicide would be a very nice introduction to the genre, because it's the one that I read first. I hold it dear to my heart, and I think a lot of people can relate to it, because it's about something that a lot of people saw in their childhood, SpongeBob. Ant Gaming asks, is Jeff the Killer your least favorite creepypasta? If not, what is? Like I said, Jeff the Killer, really don't like it. Josh Bahina, what's your real name? Dennis. Froki Sanai asks, what's your current favorite horror movie? Like I said, Solo or the 120 Days of Sodom. Kitty Bacon asks, what is your favorite Pokemon? That's Gulpin, because he's fucking adorable. Filiberto Segura asks, how did you come up with your username? Like I said, Rayman3, I love it. Sketch James asks, where do you live? I live in Sweden, I don't really want to say what city, because I don't want to get stalked, so yeah. Emil Georgie asks, will you do more creepypasta related videos? When did I say I wouldn't? Of course I'm gonna be making more. Aito TV was, do you watch anime? Yes. SP Pilele asks, what will you do more videos on creepypastas? When did I say I wouldn't? Gummy Jellyfish, what's your favorite color? Red. Carnivore 301, in your next video would you please say bazonkas and badonkadonk? Harrison Reviews asks, what languages do you speak? Swedish, English, a bit of Finnish, a bit of Spanish too. Me in Colors asks, who is your favorite doctor? I wonder if you can figure out who it is. I'm the Doctor. I'm a Time Lord. I'm from the planet Gallifrey in the constellation of Cassoris. I'm 903 years old, and I am the man who's going to save your lives and all 6 billion people on the planet below. Got a problem with that? No? In that case, Alonzi. I always wanted to say that. AltiSpinex86 asks, are you from Spain? No, I'm from Sweden. Aros Knight asks, what are you afraid of? I am afraid of death. I am afraid of peril, or scary things standing by my bed while I go to sleep, and some creepypastas. Raider Gamer 100 asks, do your top 15 favorite creepypastas. I think I might do that in the future. Who knows? Arthur Savchev asks, when will you start doing more gameplays? In the future. Nicholas K asks, do you listen to music? If so, please tell me which kind you listen to. I listen to Jim Noir, who I love so much. But I also listen to, pretty much everything. Except dubstep and current pop. Ugh. Anderson ATS asks, if they asked you to be in a secret experiment, would you be in it? No, I would not be able to do that. No. Kieran Smith asks, what is your favorite Rayman game and why? I've actually debated this for quite some time, but I do think I have to decide with Rayman Revolution for the PlayStation 2. I love the hub worlds, the way that you're able to explore the open world of Rayman, the beautiful landscapes and level designs. God, even though I played Rayman 3 a lot more in my youth, this game every time I play it, I just get this warm, fuzzy feeling, and oh my god, this game. Oh, this game. Soonest Banaunis asks, do you consider Hideo Kojima as a god for creating the Metal Gear Solid franchise? Yes! Steven Estrada asks, what are your favorite scary or creepy games? Amnesia. Spore Worlds asks, what is your least favorite creepypasta? Jeff the Killer. Alibaba Olofsson asks, will you make more Is It Real videos? Yes, I will. Jake Corona asks, how old are you? Also awesome videos. 16. Well, different day, different shirt. You see, the battery ran out, and so I had to continue filming some other day. So now we're back, and we're gonna continue with the questions. Oh my, it's the video! But we're not gonna look at the video, we're gonna look at the comments. Altico asks, did you play any Ratchet & Clank games? If you did, what game in your opinion is the best? Dude? Yes. I guess you could say I am sort of a Ratchet & Clank fan. If you're wondering where the original trilogy of games are, I sold them a while back, but I am working on getting them back again because I want to expand my collection of video games, and the Ratchet & Clank franchise is, to be honest, my favorite video game franchise of all time! So yes, I have played the Ratchet & Clank games. I have played every single game except Size Matters, which I am going to get to, but if I had to choose a favorite, it's really hard, but I would have to go with Ratchet & Clank 3, Up Your Arsenal, because that game was the first Ratchet & Clank game that I ever played. My uncle actually, I got it from my uncle, who was like, hey, you should play this game, I'm sure you'll enjoy it, and I was blown away by the game, okay? I loved it so much, and if I had to choose my second favorite, it would probably have to be Tools of Destruction, probably because it was one of the first PlayStation 3 games that I ever played, and I was, once again, blown away by how amazing it looked. It was like playing a Pixar movie. So I love this game so much, and in fact, I love every single Ratchet & Clank game ever made. I love them all. I love all the games so much. So, yes, my friend, I have played the Ratchet & Clank games. I am a nerd. Oh, and by the way, that's pretty fucking cool. Sorry about that. KT Games with a Z asks Q&A. If I saw SpongeBob blink and ask me to date it, what's wrong with my LSD? Maybe it's getting a little bit old. You should probably change it once in a while. Yeah. Nightbox asks, what country are you from? Answer if you want. I am from Sweden. Wasp Jack asks, how old are you? Not trying to be creepy, like I said, 16. Greatness1990X again asks, favorite game in the Mother series? Mother 3, my friend. Mother 3. Austin Leven asks, which in your opinion is more overrated, Jeff the Killer or Slender Man? Now Slender Man, and Jeff the Killer to an extent, when I first heard about them, I was actually kind of scared by them, but as time went on, I started noticing so many flaws in Jeff the Killer, more flaws than in Slender Man, because to be honest, Slender Man has his flaws too, you know, but Jeff the Killer has, now that I'm older and I've just developed more constructive thoughts, Jeff the Killer is by far the more stupid creepypasta by a long shot, so I would have to go with Jeff the Killer, because fuck Jeff the Killer, fuck him. There we go. My Gamer Ways with a Z asks, how old are you? 16. Metal Ducky asks, who are your inspirations? Now that's a really good question. A lot of people have pointed it out before, and I'm just gonna go out and say it. Some people think I copied Tatstop videos, but, I mean, it sounds bullshit, but I was inspired by them, okay? And I tried to, with my top 13, the Scariest Creepypastas video, I can admit that my video was sort of similar to the to Tad's top videos, but over the course of these months that I've been doing more creepypasta videos, I've tried to develop more of a my own identity, and I didn't try to be, as similar to Tad's top videos as I could. But of course, making creepypasta top lists, of course you're gonna get compared to Tad's top videos, who are the most popular gaming, or the most popular creepypasta list makers on YouTube. So of course I'm gonna get compared to them, but they were a big inspiration for me. Also, I am also inspired by, this is tough. This is a hard question. Another big inspiration for me is James Arnold Taylor, who is the voice of Ratchet from Ratchet & Clank. He also does the voice for Johnny Test, Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Clone Wars series, I think he did Plo Koon too. He's done so many voice acting thingies in these past years, and he's got a really amazing voice. And I even own his book, Jazz 365, which is a really it's not really a book, so to speak. It's more of daily inspirations. And this book, let me tell you, is really gets you in a good mood, because it teaches you a lot of valuable life lessons, and it teaches you to be happy and accept. It teaches you acceptance, and it teaches you a lot of these great things. And the thing I'm most inspired by this wonderful man is he has this play. I don't really know how to say it, but it's called Talking to Myself, which is about him and about him becoming a voice actor. And in my opinion, the way he speaks and the way he talks about how he became a voice actor and how it works and everything is just so interesting. And I would suggest you go watch his Talking to Myself speech after this video. Go look up James Arnold Taylor Talking to Myself. It's about an hour long, I think, but his final message in that is just incredible. And whenever I watch it, I just become so inspired to do what I do, and I get so motivated to do everything that I do as best as I can. And the final message in that show, or whatever you want to call it, is just incredible. And I love James Arnold Taylor, so he is also a very big inspiration for me. Italian Mobster asks, Hoodoo, am I an active fan? Yes, I've seen your comments on a few of my videos, so I guess you are. Red Dragon 1600. You forgot the Q&A, but I'm gonna have your question in it anyways. Asks, what was your first reaction when you found out about the Slender Man stabbing? I was shocked. I was like, what? Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? Because I was around 12 years old when I found out about Slender Man, okay? So, and back then, I knew this shit was not acceptable, okay? I knew I couldn't go out and just stab my friend. And hearing about this, hearing these two really, I don't know what to call them, these two girls going out and planning and actually stabbing their friend is fucked up. It's fucked up. And I was so shocked to know that I'm in a community, and I'm not gonna blame anyone in the community, okay? I'm not gonna blame the creator of Slenderman. I'm not gonna blame, you know, the something awful forums. I'm not gonna blame the community at all, okay? The ones to blame are the girls, because they were mentally unstable, and they, you know, and they really deserve, in my opinion, to be locked up, because back when I was 12 years old, I knew you couldn't do this shit, okay? So I think these two girls deserve to be locked up. Maybe, I don't know if for life, because for life is kind of drastic, but I think they really, really, really need to, you know, be taught about the difference between, you know, fiction and reality. Because killing your friend over a fictional character is just, it cannot be described in words, and it's just awful. It's just plain awful. Asserting Dust asks, what got you into creepypastas? Like I said, I read Squidward Suicide and fell in love. Abigail Taylor asks, do you like to watch Danger Dolan or Creeps McPasta? I haven't really watched Creep McPasta that much, but recently I've been watching a lot of Danger Dolan, and I like him. He makes very interesting videos, very interesting topics and subjects, and I've been watching his videos for like a month now, and I would have to say, great videos, man. Kids Pretzel Lover asks, what got you into creepypastas? I love your creepypasta. Yeah. Like I said, Squidward Suicide fell in love. Lewis Paulson asks, what's your favorite video game? That's a good question, man, because I have over like 200 video games in my shelf, over there and over there. But if I would have to choose one, it would probably have to be, you know, because this opinion is of course going to change in the future as I start playing more and more games, you know, because I buy new games like every month to, you know, expand my collection. But if I had to choose one at the moment, it would probably be Mother 3 and The Last of Us. I know The Last of Us might be a cliche choice, but it is, in my opinion, a fucking amazing game. Dead Killer the Deaf Man asks, your opinion on Godzilla? I've only seen the, you know, the recent one that they made. I watched it with a couple of friends, and I thought that one was really good. I mean, the opening was really good, you know, and they really characterized, you know, it, and the action scenes were fucking amazing in my opinion. I just sat in the audience feeling like a child again, and I was just laughing at all the destruction and explosions because I thought it was so awesome. But also, I did find that they focused a little too much on the human characters, which isn't a bad thing per se. But when you cut out fights to cut to the human characters, that's when it goes a little overboard. Because, you know, in the movie they like have you think there's gonna be like a big awesome fight, and then it just cuts to a TV screen showing a little bit of the fight, like 10 seconds of the fight, and then it's back to the human characters, and you're like, what? They skipped the fighting scene? What the fuck is that all about? But I haven't watched any other Godzilla movies, and I want to do it in the future because they look fucking amazing, so yeah! Joel Edberg asks, can you be my friend? Come here, man. Augustine Pinasuara asks, how does my profile pic look like? Ha! You don't have one. Dan Amiri, who, by the way, asked this in my discussion on my channel, you should have wrote it in the, on my underrated creepypastas video, just in the future, you know, that way I can, you know, sort the comments a bit easier, but I luckily I saw your comment, now on my discussion page, so I'm gonna include it in the in this video. But for future reference, please keep the questions in the video where I say, you know, this is where you're supposed to leave your comments, just in the future. But for now, I'll let it slip. What is your favorite Kitchen Nightmares episode, since you were watching it when you made an update in which you were sick? Yes, I was sick and I watched a lot of Kitchen Nightmares episodes because I had nothing else to do. But this is of course this is a very hard question because there are a lot of, you know, Kitchen Nightmares episodes, and they are all, you know, very they are all, you know, interesting in their own ways, and you know, you can make the argument that, oh, they're built up, you know, they're made for the stupid American audience and stuff, but I can't help but find it at least a little bit entertaining. And if I had to go with my favorite, I would probably have to go with, I don't recall the name, but it was like an ocean type of restaurant where there were two brothers who had a restaurant together. And it wasn't the Capri brothers, I think. They were called. It wasn't them, you know, the ones who went boxing, you know. But there were two brothers who had an ocean type restaurant, and you know, one of the brothers were, you know, really helpful, and he was like, yeah, if we're gonna make a difference, you know, we have to listen to Chef Ramsay, so I'm gonna put myself on his side. And he was actually a really nice guy, you know, and he was actually, you know, listening to Chef Ramsay, and, you know, he wasn't in denial or anything. He was actually, you know, very helpful, and he was actually open for change. And then his brother, who was a bit older than him, who was really, you know, I mean, I don't know if he played it up for the camera, but he was just fucking insane in the episode, okay? And, what was it? And Chef Ramsay, like, said something like, insulted him in the episode, said something about, I don't remember, but he said like an insult, and and the guy just became really like angry, and his brother had to step in and, you know, come up with a story like, no, it means he didn't insult you, it means that he means that you're working too hard in the wrong places. Like something like that, and he tried to calm his brother down. He was like, no, he's British. He speaks different from us. Okay, he's British. He speaks different, and it was just fucking hilarious seeing him try to cover up. Like, no, don't get angry. He wasn't insulting you. He was simply telling you that you're working too hard in the wrong places, something like that. And I just found that incredibly entertaining. You know, the back and forth between the brothers, and that episode was just really interesting and really funny, and I just really liked that episode, so that's probably my favorite. You also asked if I read Through the Trees. I have not read Through the Trees, but I'm probably gonna do that in the future, so thanks for the suggestion, my friend. Number 3, what is your favorite horror movie? Like I said, don't know if it counts, but 100... Jesus fucking Christ, I can't talk today. But like I said, 120 Days of Sodom. What is your favorite non-horror movie? Like I said, would have to be a tie between Forrest Gump, Saving Private Ryan, and Schindler's List. And finally, have you ever written your own creepypasta? I've actually written a few. I wrote I think I said this before. Yeah, I said it before, so you already know this. So yeah. Alright. Final question. Oh my god, this has been going on for very long, so thank you for sticking through the entire video, and hopefully I've gotten through every question. I mean, I just went through the entire comment section, but I might have missed 1 or 2 questions, and if I did, I apologize. I'm just one guy, you know, you can't be perfect. But finally, it's time for the last question of the day. Shall we? Shall we go on? Yes, we shall! Noki Meow asks, can you sing for us? P.S. There's a storm outside. Again, you want me to sing again? Fine by me. I'm so happy, oh happy-go-lucky me. I just got my way, living every day. I don't worry, worrying's not for me. Things that bother you never bother me. If you na-na-na-na-na-na, I feel happy and da-da-da. Yeah, what's up, people? It's Courtney Gears! Are you feeling me, robot? I'm feeling you. I see the future, and what do I see? The world's going crazy across the galaxy. Can't stand organics, they're soft and squishy. The time is now, where robots must be free. Do you want to be free? Then shout with me, yeah! This goes out to all you robots across the galaxy. It's time for you and me to rise up and strike back. Don't stop until we dominate. Won't you feel great when we exterminate all organic life? That was fucking awful, wasn't it?
Hello.